Hello everyone and welcome back to English with Lucy. I have a question for you. What is the opposite of this word? Interested. Is it uninterested or disinterested? And which of these means free? Complementary or complementary? In this video, we are going to find out because together we will look at 12 confusing adjectives. We're going to look at the meanings, we're going to look at the pronunciation, and we're going to see lots of examples to help cement the differences in your brain. To test your understanding, I've also included a short quiz at the end. And look, it's not just English learners who get confused by these adjectives. Native speakers do too, including me sometimes. Guilty. So this video is for everyone. Something else you might like is that I've created a free PDF that contains everything in this video, plus 12 more confusing adjectives and 2 additional quizzes. You can download all of that for free. Just click on the link in the description box or scan that QR code there. You sign up to my mailing list and the PDF will arrive directly in your inbox. Then you will automatically receive my free weekly PDFs, plus all of my news, updates, and offers. It's a free service and you can unsubscribe at any time. Right, let's get started with the lesson and go back to the question I asked you at the beginning of the video. What is the opposite of interested? Uninterested or disinterested? The answer should be uninterested. So, if you're interested in something, you want to know about it. If you're uninterested, you don't want to know about something or you don't want to be involved in something. An example, my students seemed completely uninterested in the lesson about the history of taxation. Shock, they didn't want to learn about it. Now, here's the interesting bit. Disinterested isn't the opposite of interested, even though it looks like it is. At least, it's not usually. If you are disinterested, you are able to be fair and you don't favour one side or the other in a situation because you're not personally involved. It's similar to being neutral or impartial. For example, we need a disinterested party to help decide who should win the prize. We need someone who is not involved and is able to be fair. So, to recap, uninterested means not interested, and disinterested means neutral or impartial. Now, many native speakers use disinterested to mean uninterested, particularly in speech or in informal situations. This annoys a lot of people. They consider it to be incorrect, but it's fairly common. You'll hear it. Next, we have another pair of words that look like opposites, but are not. Famous and infamous. Listen to that difference in pronunciation. Famous has a schwa in the final syllable. Famous. And infamous has 2 schwas in the second and final syllables. Infamous. Famous. I know it's tempting to say infamous. I remember reading when I was younger, the first time I came across this word, and I naturally pronounced it infamous, but I was corrected. The stress for both words is on the first syllable. Famous. Infamous. But what about the meanings? Try to complete these sentences. Jordan Belfort is for running a stock market fraud operation. He's the guy from The Wolf of Wall Street. And the next sentence, Taylor Swift is a or an singer. Ready for the answers? He's infamous for stock market fraud, and Taylor Swift is a famous singer. So, what's the difference? Well, famous simply means known about by a lot of people, usually for something we consider positive. We have famous people, famous things, and famous places. We even have famous animals. Some examples: she became famous after winning an Olympic gold medal, or the Taj Mahal is famous for its beauty. Now, infamous also means well known, but for something bad, like Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, in our earlier example. It's similar to notorious. It can also be used for people, things, and places, and I guess animals as well. For example, Al Capone was an infamous gangster, or that house is infamous for having a grisly history. So, to recap, famous generally means known and celebrated. Infamous generally means having a bad reputation. All right, the next pair is one I get confused about sometimes when I'm writing. Complementary and complementary. They're pronounced the same, but one is spelt with an I and the other with an E. Complementary with an I has two main meanings. One is expressing praise or approval. That's not too hard to remember, as the noun and verb form compliment is also spelt with an I. An example: he was very complimentary about your presentation. But complimentary with an I also means free. I love complimentary things. For example, the hotel offers a complimentary breakfast for guests. Now, complimentary with an E refers to two people or things that work well together, either because they are useful together or visually appealing. The two elements can be quite different, but they enhance each other. For example, complementary colours like blue and orange offer a strong contrast, yet they look great side by side. Another example: they have complementary skills. She's creative and he's highly organised. So to recap, complementary with an I means expressing praise or free. Complementary with an E means work well together. Our next pair of words is really challenging for English learners. We have economic and economical. Or is that economic and economical? See, the confusion starts even with the pronunciation. You can pronounce both words with either an E or an E sound at the beginning. Economic, economic, economical, economical. I wish I could tell you which pronunciation I use all the time, but honestly, I flip between the two. I grew up with different teachers using the different pronunciations, and I just never really thought about it and used both. Try them out, see which one feels more natural to you. But the pronunciation isn't the trickiest part. The meaning is. Let's complete these sentences. 1. This country is facing serious problems. And my washing machine is very... So in the first gap, we need economic or economic. So in the second gap, of course, we need economical or economical. I'm going to stick with the E pronunciation here. Economic is an adjective related to the economy, money, business, or trade, and it's usually followed by a noun. For example, London is an important economic centre in Europe. Economical means not wasteful. Something or someone that doesn't waste time, money, or energy. For example, this car is more economical than that one. It uses less fuel. So, economic means related to business and money. Economical means not wasting time, money, or energy. All right, the next pair is distinct and distinctive. Distinct means clearly different or separate. For example, the Adidas and Nike logos are clearly distinct from each other. They are clearly different from one another. Distinct also means easy to notice. For example, there was a distinct smell of smoke in the air. I could easily smell it. Distinctive means having a special quality that makes something easy to recognize or remember because it's different from other things. For example, John has a very distinctive laugh. It's easy to recognize it's John even if I can't see him because I can hear his very unique laugh. It stands out. Let's compare now. Some examples. The UK has many distinct accents. Each accent is clearly different from any other. And she has a distinctive accent. The features of her accent make it easy to recognize where she's from. Is that clear? I hope so. Let's move on to our final pair, classic and classical. If something is classic, it's high quality, lasting, and often seen as one of the best examples of its kind. It's often used for books, films, clothes, and cars. For example, she's really into classic cars and has several from the 1940s. Or, that black dress is classic. It'll never go out of style. We can also use it more playfully. For example, he left his phone at home again. Classic Julian. This is typical of Julian, as he is always forgetting things. We use classical to refer to traditional music from the mid-18th to the early 19th centuries, like pieces by Mozart and Beethoven. An example, I love listening to classical music when it's played live. We also use classical to talk about something that has a long tradition. Classical ballet, for example. And classical refers to things related to ancient Greek or Roman culture. For example, the museum in Athens has many classical sculptures. Or, he's a classical scholar. He studies ancient Rome. So, to recap, classic means high quality and timeless, or one of the best examples of its type. Classical tends to refer to things related to traditional culture, ancient Greece and Rome, and certain music. Okay, we've covered our 12 confusing adjectives. So now it's time for a quiz. Make sure you share your answers in the comments section. There are 3 questions. Are you ready? Number 1. The wine is to the rich flavour of the cheese. Is it complementary with I or complementary with E? It should be complementary with an E because the wine and cheese go well together. Number 2, we watched a film from the 1950s last night. It's still brilliant. Classic or classical? It should be classic. The film is high quality and timeless. And finally, number 3. We need a or an judge who can make a fair decision. Is it uninterested or disinterested? Disinterested is correct here. It means the judge is neutral and fair. How did you do? Let me know your score out of 3 in the comments. I'd also like to know which pair you find most confusing. Try to make some sentences with them. If you feel the quiz was quite short, don't worry. In the PDF, I have 2 more quizzes and 12 more confusing adjectives. To download that, just click on the link in the description box or scan that QR code there. It was a pleasure teaching you today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I hope you learnt something. I will see you soon for another lesson. Mwah!